Hey guys, today we are going to be learning about compound inequalities. Yesterday we were learning about solving inequalities by one, two, and multi-step solutions. So a compound inequality consists of two distinct inequalities joined by the words and or the word or. When they contain the word and, the graph will overlap and form a barbell. So, for example, that would have 1 point, 1 point, and your graph is in the middle there. When we have the word or, the graph will form in two opposite directions. And we'll go this way and this way. Okay, sometimes you'll have open circles, sometimes you'll have closed, so you need to pay attention to that less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So we're going to scroll down a little bit and solve some of these. So for number 1, b is greater than 3 or b is less than or equal to 0. So we're going to start with the 3. b is greater than 3, so we have an open circle going to the right. Or b is less than or equal to 0. So less than or equal to, closed circle going to the left. Okay. For number 2, we have an and symbol. So with our and, we have z is less than or equal to 3. So we're going to have a closed circle here. And z is greater than or equal to -2. So we're going to have a closed circle, and it's in between here. Okay, so we can always check that by, we're going to put z in the middle, greater than or equal to 3, -2. So any number that falls in between there is a solution to this inequality. Okay, we're going to go down to number 3. Number 3, k is greater than 1, so we're going to have, oh, and for this one, I actually want you to change this sign to go this way. So k is greater than 1, and k is less than 5. So right in the middle there. Y, for number 4, y is less than -1. So we have an open circle, so it's just the less than. Or y is greater than or equal to 1. So we're going to have a closed circle going to the right. And that's number 4 for you. All right, so this next section, we are going to be writing the compound inequalities with the graphs that we are given. So for number 5, I see an open circle and a closed circle. We have an open circle here on -3, closed circle on 3. And our graph is connected so that we know that we are using the and equation. So we have x is greater than -3, so we have an open circle there, and x is less than or equal to 3. Okay, so x falls somewhere in between those two. For number 6, I want you guys to go ahead and try that one real quick. All right, if you guys are back, you should have number 6 done. For number 6, we also have an and, so it's connected. We have 2 closed circles, so we know that x is going to be greater than or equal to 1, because that's our 1 here, and x is going to be less than or equal to 4. So for number 6, our value could be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So those are the only numbers that fall in here. For number 7, we have it going both ways, so we have or. We have an open circle over here on the left, so x is less than -2. And we have x is greater than or equal to 1 because we have a closed circle on 1 going to the right. For number 8, I see 2 open circles and we are going opposite ways, so we have or. X is less than -1 and x is x is greater than 2. Okay, that's number 8 for you. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to determine the solutions by simplifying, and then we're going to graph. Go ahead and pause and rewind if you need to now. All right, for number 9, we need to get rid of this -4 that's in the middle here. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. 4's here, cancel. -3 plus 4 is +1. And then -1 plus 4 is 3. So here by the 1 we have a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to 1. And then over here we have an open circle because it is less than 3. And then we're going to connect those two. Okay. For number 10, we need to add 4 to both sides. Add 4 to both sides. -2 plus 4 is +2. We have 3y here. And then we have 14 plus 8 is 18. Now we need to divide both sides by 3 to get that y by itself. So we end up, I'm going to write it down here, or no, I'll do it over to the left. We have 2/3 is less than y, and y is greater than 6, because 18 divided by 3 gives us 6. We have we do not have any less than or greater than or equal to there. So we have 2 open circles, and we're just going to label 2/3, 2/3 and 6, and we're going to shade in the middle there. That's our answer for number 10. So we're going to move on to number 11. Here we have an or. So we're going to have our graph going opposite directions. Over here on the left, we're going to start by subtracting 2 from both sides. Those 2's cancel. We have 3m is less than -9. Divide by 3, divide by 3. M is less than -3. We do not need to change the sign here because we are dividing by a positive number. -4m is less than -4, so I did 1 minus 5 gives us -4. Now we are dividing by a -4. Those 4's cancel. M, we need to flip our sign. -4 divided by -4 gives us +1. So here's our statement. We have an open circle on -3 going this way. Oh, okay, 1 minute. Okay. Open circle going to the left, and then we have an open circle on 1 going to the right because m is greater than 1. That's our answer for number 11 there. All right, so for number 12, we also have an or statement. So we're going to solve both of them separately. Subtract 7 from both sides. -2y is less than -6. Divide by -2. Divide by -2. Y, we're going to flip our sign because we divided by a negative. Y is greater than 3. Or, now we're going to do our second one over here. We're going to subtract 3. 4y is less than or equal to -8. divide by 4, divide by 4. Y is less than or equal to -2. So we're going to put a open circle on 3. Y is greater than 3, so we're going to the right. And then we have a closed circle on -2 because y is less than or equal to -2. There's number 12 for us. I'm gonna skip 13, 14, and 15 right now. You guys can do those if you finish the notes early today. We're going to go through number 16 real quick. This is just showing you if it was written as a sentence, this is what it wants you to do here. So solving for x if x is an integer. So we're simply just going to solve this inequality like we were doing before. So we're going to add 7, add 7, add 7. Those 7's cancel. 13 plus 7 is 20. Bring everything else down here. And then 28 plus 7 is 35. We're going to divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so we have just x left there. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So that is our final answer for number 16. Now I want to look down at writing a compound inequality to represent each phrase. So we're given a sentence or a couple sentences, and you guys need to come up with the inequality. So for number 18, all real numbers that are between -5 and 7. So I want you guys to pause and think about that for a minute. Try to solve it. All right, so if you guys are back, you should have attempted to try number 18. So we want all real numbers that are between -5 and 7. So it says between, so it cannot be -5 or 7. So we need to write our -5, x, 7. This shows us that it's somewhere in between these two numbers. We do not want that equals sign there because it's between. It cannot equal those two numbers. Okay, so now we're going to try number 19. The circumference of a woman's basketball must be between 28.5 inches and 29 inches inclusively. So that means it can be those numbers or somewhere in between. That's what inclusively means, including those numbers. So 28.5, we're going to do the less than or equal to, because including those numbers, it can be those numbers. So it's number 19. And that's all for your notes today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And if not, you guys can come get a handout from me for the activity for today or ask any questions. Or you can take a minute and work on some of them that we didn't go through if you need a little practice before you do the activity.